I'm Amy.
I'm Wendell.
And I'm Patrick.
And
this is
Yes,
But Why?
Podcast.
What's your favorite Halloween show you've ever done?
Let's see. My favorite Halloween show that I've ever done. I really honestly haven't done many. Like, because I only got really back into comedy, like, seriously, like, about a year ago.
Okay.
So I remember one that I immediately thought of was I did a loyal comedy show at TNM that was called Rest, where I had to be dressed up as this spooky specter. And then we had to walk onto a bed on stage, and they dropped the lights, and then we had to, like, pull a bunch of fake body parts out from underneath the bed and cover this woman in blood, and then sneak back off under the veil of darkness. So she went from being fine to very much not fine very quickly. And that was enjoyable. I love anything that involves fake blood.
I am with you there.
Yeah.
I didn't see that show.
No, my favorite Halloween show was the show we did last night. Oh my
Hey,
God.
there we go. I was trying to set him up. I was like,
There we go.
I don't know, anything recent jump out?
Wendell's like,
Look, I went to sleep.
How
okay?
great are you thinking about being in a show with me?
Oh my God, no.
That's so
like
funny.
that John Golson doing that vomit sketch that I wrote.
Oh, dude. The
And
audience
it just him holding it and it just splattering between his fingers all over the table and the ground and just all over himself was I wrote it and I was happy that we were using the vomit machine, but it beat my high expectations by such a wide margin.
What direction did you watch it from? Did you watch it from the alley or from the green room
From the
entrance?
green room.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Because
from the
then
green
you
room.
get,
Yeah.
because if you get it from there, from the green room through the peek hole?
Yeah,
or
through the
no,
peek hole.
Go around to the side, watch it, because you'll see Patrick and you'll see it, so you get to see him push the plunger and then it happens.
And giggling.
and like listening for like the yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Should I not put a 90-degree angle on it? Because I was going to for this next one.
90-degree angle?
So yeah, because when Eliana did it too, like it's just a tube, so you have to put your hand in the right direction. And so, right, so it would go down because when she did it,
probably point down would be a good thing.
And it moved, and it went just right into her nasal passages. and so
that one was green.
Yeah, that was a bunch of stuff.
And you're giving it your all back there,
right
too,
in your
Larson.
face.
I can't see what's going on.
I know, but you're pushing.
Yeah.
Your process is to push really
You're
hard.
pushing
right?
against. Yeah, it's like
okay.
it's like a 3-inch tube, maybe 2.5-inch tube. That's a lot of hydraulic pressure. You're pushing.
Yeah.
The best part was I might have to. Oh shit! I forgot to get my tarp. I might have to give a tarp to the goddamn front row because it was so splattery.
I am so happy. Because you told me I don't know about the vomit machine. I was like, I'll ride the vomit machine. And then you were like, do you really want to use the vomit machine? I was like, I want to use the vomit machine. And then Patrick was like, I want to use the vomit machine.
Yeah.
He always wants to. That's why I don't ask
know.
him.
I built it. So so it used to be a silicone pump.
bucket.
Yeah, absolutely. So it used to be a silicone pump that I used to make masks with. And then I was like, if I just put 2 one-way valves on it, vomit machine, we can do this. So then I spent another, I don't know how many dollars and built the damn thing. And I was like, we used it at that one show and that was it. So had to use it.
Yeah.
So glad you wrote that.
I like how that's not even the. And then the fucking blob too. Like that's not even the biggest special effect. This was a good effects heavy.
I was afraid the blob wasn't going to work on stage.
I was terrified.
Yeah,
it took
he
people a
threw
second,
it out,
but-
and it was like, wait, what's going? And it didn't look, and then it was just like, you got it?
And then the plaid
I grabbed it,
opened
and
up.
it started to get caught, so I just reached over real quick and gave it a tug.
I didn't even notice that. That's great. Yeah. And then it came out and was fucking perfect.
Yeah, because it started to get caught and then the sides were expanding in on itself. Like it was I don't know if it was some of the tape for the fabric holding it on getting stuck together, but I just gave her a quick yank. I was like, hope it doesn't pop.
No, it won't. Even if you put a giant hole in it, that fan back there is.
Oh, well, yeah.
out.
It's
Yeah.
one of those fans they bring you
ridiculous.
whenever your house floods.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I bought it from Home Depot
Yeah.
used.
I know it's I used to work in insurance.
Oh.
Really?
That was my first job when I moved to Austin. I was a homeowner's insurance claims person.
So do you have like a certification for that then? Or? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you could go back doing that.
Yeah, I still have an active adjuster's license that didn't expire till 2018.
So you could head down to wherever a hurricane hits too, probably, and do some adjustment, right?
I never did field adjusting.
Okay.
I was a desk adjuster, and I mostly did fires and explosions. Yeah.
That's fun.
It was not. It was 100%
I'm sure it's
the
horrible.
opposite of fun.
Oh.
How often was it explosions? Because fires, I would think, are a lot.
Not super often, but like...
I just didn't know there had to be a whole job just dedicated to talking to people about exploding
like,
houses.
if people would like leave like their
Their house.
stove on and their house wasn't very well ventilated, like if it was a gas stove...
That
like,
happens a lot still?
Yeah, it happened to my neighbor 2 doors down.
I have
Shit,
gas
yeah.
in my house. I'm constantly afraid it's going to happen to me.
I know. I figured that's why it would stop happening, is
And
everybody just knows what gas is.
The other thing is that a lot of gas lines now use CSST, the corrugated stainless steel tubing, which is like the little ridged tubing that like it looks bunched together like an accordion kind of.
Yeah.
And that stuff is actually extremely dangerous because if something falls and hits it and like nicks a hole in it, since it's made out of metal, if it hits it hard enough, it can knock a hole in it and make a spark, and that's your gas line, and then you got a little explosion.
Not fun.
Wow.
It looked like whoever. So my neighborhood has propane. I think for like huge tanks for the entire neighborhood. Yeah, and so whoever like installed the lines in my attic to go to the water heater, it looks like they were like, oh, we don't have a 90-degree bin, but we got this T intersection and a stopper. And so they used a T intersection, just drilled a hole into the attic floor and just shoved the T like into it. I was like, what, dude? Like, it passed inspection twice, so...
Especially here in Texas, there's all sorts of shoddy shit that's put up in houses all the time, because there's no, like, certification or anything that you need to be a contractor in Texas. As long as you got a ladder and a truck, you're a contractor, baby.
Wow.
Oh.
Maybe I should get another person to check that out then.
Let me ask you
Or
this.
maybe you should become a contractor.
No. Too much liability.
Do you have a ladder?
I do.
Apparently there's none.
I've got 2 ladders.
Well, then you're a double contractor.
So in my apartment, my new apartment, there's a drain right above, inside of my shower, my bath. There's a drain right above that I'm pretty sure is like AC runoff, but it just constantly lets water out, which I was like, I've never seen that before in any place that I've been in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's up to code or if that was somebody just thinking on their feet. I don't know.
We can just drain it right here. It's fine.
Yeah, because it is, I guess. I mean, it's not over my head.
Right.
It's like at the end.
Yeah, that would be
I
my
was going to
backup.
say, is it dripping on you?
No, it's at the other end of the
That's not
tub,
good.
but it's dripping all the time. Is one thing.
Yeah, I mean, that might...
It might just be like a solution if they didn't have anywhere else to drain it to.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. Like, somebody just was like, hey, we could just...
Because my first apartment had that same thing. It was just
Yeah.
like a gross, scummy hole at the back end of the shower, and it would just drip into the shower.
Okay, so you've seen this
a lot of the
before,
times, I think it's usually hooked up to an AC drip pan, which is why it doesn't really drip very often, because those don't have a tendency to overflow unless there's something fucked up with your AC unit. But that's usually what it's for. It's like a runoff for a drip pan.
Okay.
So it's not actually hooked up to like any water lines or anything like that.
It's comforting to know that this exists and not just in your apartment.
No, yeah, because I was like, where do you stop? Because you could cycle a lot of water through my bathtub if you wanted to. Like,
Well, it'd
this
be
could
just super creepy if, like, you start naming off things where you're all like, also, like, do your apartments have, like, cameras in every corner? And, like, at 7 p.m., there's a voice that comes out and says, like, it's time for you to eat dinner naked. Like, is that regular? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and everyone's like, no.
When you use the toilet, it feels like a bidet, but you can't tell where the attachment is.
You didn't press a button or choose an option or anything. It just happens. There's also a camera in there.
I mean, yeah, that's, yeah.
I think my bidet is just a guy under a tarp, you guys, with a water gun.
I like the idea that you poop on a tarp or pee on a tarp even.
Maybe he painted it so well, I can't tell. You know?
Like that regularly, he's like, this is fine. And he's just peeing on a tarp. And there's another guy who's like, bling. He'll never notice this. He's already the kind of guy who pees on a tarp.
If it looks like something no one cares about, then I could probably poop or pee on it without really thinking that much.
That reminds me so much of this joke that there's a comedian, her name is Jo Firestone, and she has this great stand-up bit where she's mentioning like one of like the weirdest or darkest things that's ever happened to her in her life. And she says, but it's not, like, probably the worst thing that ever happened was whenever I had to shit in a plastic bag in my own kitchen. And then she just moves on to the next joke and never explains it. And I think about that probably 3 times a week.
Yeah.
It's so funny to just mention something so crazy and fucked up and then just be like, anyway.
Why? Yeah. That's where I'm going to be. Why?
I was like, why did you have to shit in a bag in your kitchen?
Was it just shit? Because I hardly ever just shit.
It's like hold up, because my whole
I'm
next
shitting on
special
people.
is just about that story.
I would definitely like give her a goog sometime. She's very funny. Very funny.
Firestone was the last name, was the first name?
Joe Firestone.
Joe.
J-O, yeah.
I very
She was
recently
on the-
read an article about her that Yamina had posted
Oh, yeah?
on Facebook. So.
Oh, she's great. She was on the first season of the new Comedy Central stand-up half hour.
Yep.
Like one of the first or second episodes.
Nice.
It was,
I recently
God, it was
watched
great.
some of the half-hour comedy specials from like the 90s, and I watched Patton Oswalt.
Mm-hmm.
And his jokes were so, like, today it would be 100% offensive from beginning to end. Every joke that he told would be, like, he'd be ripped to shreds on the internet these days. And
By
it's
himself.
like, yeah, by himself. But it's like watching it, I was just like, whoa. Some of the things I'm like, yeah, that was a good joke. I wish people could say it. And then some of them I'm like, whoa, they let us say that? Okay,
I mean,
great.
It's the same with like people like Eddie Murphy. Like Eddie Murphy and some of his earlier stuff, like violently homophobic.
Yeah.
Like just
His stuff on SNL, too.
upsettingly awfully like homophobic.
Yeah, racist
Everyone's
as
like,
hell.
bravo, he's a comedic, he's one of the best. And it's like, yeah, he's really good, but also doesn't age well.
Yeah. It's wild how different it is, though, and the, like, effort you have to put in to not be offensive in any way. In the way that, I don't know, you're creating jokes or going too far, going to the third beat. We were just talking about how it was... I was talking to the new neighbors about the idea that it's like, so the world that we live in is really crazy. Like, crazy. Like, third beat already crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to start first beat in that crazy real world and then go wilder and more insane than that.
I saw a tweet the other day that all it said right now is like that the world is like the equivalent of when a bird gets in the house. And I was like, that is the most accurate thing I've ever read in my life.
So, American Horror Story, I just, like, started watching the first episode today. Didn't finish it.
I have never watched it.
This season starts at the election.
Yeah, when Trump wins.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the crazy point for the story to start. Yeah, which is just like, that's insane. Like, before it's like, oh, this house is haunted with ghosts.
It's
and now
like the country
Or
is
like-
haunted
Right.
with...
You're in an insane asylum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They're aliens, whatever it is, yeah.
no. Now it's just current day politics.
Yeah, just put it up there. It's fine. So, I
That
don't
has
know.
to mean that they had something in mind first and then threw it all out.
Yeah, and then just
When
put it on.
when Trump, like when the ball got rolling, there's like,
It's like
all
the
right,
first day,
fuck werewolf.
and all of a sudden they come into the meeting and they're like, all right, guys, what's everybody's werewolf pitches? And then it's
Werewolf
like,
Aquarium.
a guy runs in, he's all sweaty, and he's all like, wait, I wrote the season. And he's got a whole thick 27 episodes, and
It's a
they're
collection
like,
of newspapers.
okay.
I think the show goes on in October, so it would have been like right after last season. The elections happened, and then
They're just hanging
They
out in a
weren't waiting
room.
for the election. I don't think they were like, I don't know, let's see how this
yeah.
works out. They had a thing.
What
you know?
I don't
network
know.
are they on?
FX.
FX.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was going to be like, it's weird that it would end in October because I guess they have the different kind of setup on how seasons go for certain shows. The summer ones versus the school year ones.
There's only like 12 or 13 episodes too, so they kind of start in the fall, technically, and then right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 4 or 5 episodes in now. So it started
The first
September.
season is good, but it's a bummer. I don't know.
That's the best season.
Have you guys seen it?
I haven't watched any
American
American
Horror
Horror Story.
Oh, I am always going to stick by that the best American Horror Story is Coven.
Okay, so that's the one I haven't seen. That's the only one I haven't seen.
I'm sticking to my guns.
Okay, because
I loved Coven so much.
so I don't know
Shot
if
in
you.
Louisiana. It's
Spoiler
the whole
alert all
thing.
day.
No, every season is a different premise.
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to just to clarify that because
But are all the actors the same every time?